Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
It's a lot of big people I'm standing next to. These are big, strong, powerful champions, right?
The NDSU Bison have had a whirlwind of events on this historic day at the nation's capital. After wrapping up a visit to the White House, where they met President Donald Trump, the team ate lunch and went sightseeing around the Capitol. Valley News Team's sports director, Beth Houle, is live from the White House with more on the Bison's visit to Capitol Hill. Beth?
Hey, Andrea. Yeah, it was an exciting day for NDSU and everyone involved with this football program. I hope everyone enjoyed following along and seeing it from back home in North Dakota. This was a day filled with the unexpected. For as much as it was planned, it was unexpected. The Bison treated to a impromptu meal of Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Domino's, and Burger King. The White House springing that one on the Bison this afternoon. A welcome surprise. The guys telling me they loved it. If you don't know, they regularly eat Chick-fil-A on the way home from away games on their chartered flights. So they said they felt right at home and like he knew something about the program. All in all, the players telling me it was a wonderful experience, and you could certainly tell that President Donald Trump was excited to have the Bison at the White House.
Thank everybody for being here, and we're very excited to welcome to the White House the 2018 FCS National Champions, the North Dakota State University Bison, and that's with a Z, you know I spell.
Now, Easton Stick then had the honor of presenting President Donald Trump with a Bison jersey, the number 45 on it, of course. This a huge honor for Easton Stick, he said, to be able to present that to the president. President Trump also greeting and shaking Easton's hand, calling him by name, making a comparison to Tom Brady as well. One Easton Stick said was a bit ridiculous. All in all, though, in all honesty, you could really see the excitement and genuine pleasure that it was for President Trump to host the Bison today. From there, they headed over to the Capitol, where they continued on a tour, had another lunch. Bison football players can't ever get enough. And they had the opportunity then to tour the Capitol, see some of the wonderful history that's gone on there, treated by Senator Hoeven and Senator Kramer to that wonderful experience. Then it was off to the Lincoln Memorial, back on the bus, and the Bison are on their way home now, back to Fargo to get back to work. We've got plenty more from today's trip to Washington, D.C. We'll have player reaction tonight on Valley News Live at 6. For now, though, reporting live in Washington, D.C., I'm Beth Houle.
All right, Beth, thanks for that live report. We do look forward to more coverage tonight, as she mentioned, Valley News Live at 6 and tonight at 10 o'clock. After the president honored the Bison on their winning season, we caught up with him for an exclusive one-on-one interview. Point of View host Chris Berg spoke with the president briefly. President Trump had nothing but praise for North Dakota and the strong relationship he has with the state.
Well, I love the state to start off with. It's been a great state, North Dakota, and John Hoeven has been a fantastic friend. And as you know, Kevin Kramer, we worked hard together to have really what was a massive victory for Kevin. And we just have a relationship with them and a relationship special with the state.
We will have more on that one-on-one interview with President Trump tonight on Valley News Live at 6. And you can hear the full interview on POV at 6:30. Blowing snow has created tough driving conditions for people in the metro. The roads are bad enough that a no travel advisory has been issued for south central North Dakota. Hutch, how long can we expect these conditions to stick around tonight?
Well, throughout the evening, we're going to continue to battle with, difficult travel conditions, to say the least. This driver here stuck not far from us here at the station within eyes distance of our Valley Sky Cam. Looks like that car is free. What about yours? Well, gusty winds causing terrible problems in central North Dakota. Near 50-mile-per-hour gusts in Jamestown today and Minot, and those gusts continue into the evening hours. That is why we have a winter weather advisory until 9 o'clock. There's only light, fresh snow falling, but it sure is reducing visibility with those gusts of wind. As we take a look at those gusts currently, we still have them over 40 miles per hour at times, but a lot of places with 35-mile-per-hour gusts. Under a mile visibility, that's going to be the main problem. Our temperatures will slowly fall into the single digits in both Fargo and in Grand Forks. By the time we get to the 8 or 9 o'clock hour, Andrea, I think the gusts become a little less potent out there, but we'll still have slippery road conditions and reduced visibility at times. So use caution traveling around this evening.
We can see it all with that Skycam, right?
Almost everything.
Almost everything. Yeah. Thanks, Saj.
You bet.
The man in prison for helping kidnap the baby of Savannah Greywind has now been moved to another facility for his protection. Officials say William Hain was moved from the North Dakota State Penitentiary in Bismarck to an undisclosed prison in another state. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley joins us live in the studio now with more on our story. Bailey?
Andrea, yes, Michelle Linster with the Department of Corrections says William Hain was moved out of state for, quote, protective management purposes that are related to the nature of his crime. Linster could not disclose Hain's exact location or comment if Hain had been injured while at the penitentiary in Bismarck. Sources close to the matter tell Valley News Live when a crime is especially heinous, like the murder of 8-month pregnant Savannah Greywind, those offenders are given additional protections from the other inmates, adding that it's unknown if there was a specific threat made against Hain, but many law enforcement and correction officers believed Hain would be killed in prison. Savannah's body was found in August 2017 in the Red River, wrapped in plastic after her baby was cut and taken from her body. Hain was sentenced to life in prison last October with a chance of parole for his involvement in kidnapping Savannah's newborn daughter, Hazley Joe. Hain was facing a maximum of 20 years in prison for the kidnapping of the baby, but a judge determined that he was a dangerous offender and he was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole. Hain has since appealed that sentence. Andrea?
All right, thank you, Bailey. A date has not been set yet for Hain's appeal. Bail has been set for an Arizona man accused in a shooting in Valley City. Cornelius Johnson is in jail, charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and armed robbery. The incident happened just before Thanksgiving of last year. Johnson was arrested in Arizona in late January and then extradited to North Dakota. The victim is a 19-year-old man from Valley City. At last report, he was recovering from a gunshot wound to the chest. His identity has not been released yet. The trial of a Sabin man accused of killing a 2-year-old boy in a crash began today. Jeremy Sagvold is facing manslaughter charges following an accident that happened last year at the intersection of 34th Street and Highway 10 East. That's on the outskirts of Moorhead. Police say Sagvold was driving a truck that rear-ended a car with the 2-year-old and his parents inside. The child died later that day from his injuries. Moorhead police have previously confirmed Sagvold was not under the influence at the time of the crash, but say speed could have been a factor. Bemidji police are asking for your help identifying a person of interest in an ongoing investigation. Police aren't saying what this person is wanted for. If you know any information about the person in that picture, you can call police at 218-766-7201. Be sure to reference photo number 374. There's a scam you should be aware of that continues to make the rounds in Cass County. Someone is calling people, identifying themselves as either Detective Baker or Lieutenant Ward with the Cass County Sheriff's Office. The scammers say there's an active warrant and they want you to pay them right away over the phone in order to cancel the warrant. Numerous people have called authorities saying they received this phone call from this number, 701-248-0408. Authorities remind you they will never ask you to pay a bond over the phone. It must be paid in cash at the courthouse. If you have any questions, call the Sheriff's Office at 241-1283. You could be putting your best friend at risk thanks to a new fad diet for dogs. Veterinarians are warning pet owners not to go all in on grain-free diets because the results could be deadly. Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall has more.
His name is Aussie, and he's just a snorty little chunky ball of funny. I'm a dog girl. That's all I'm gonna ever do.
Anderson is careful with what she feeds Aussie, but not everyone is so sure.
We get a lot of questions of just people not really knowing what they want. I don't really know why it started to get the push that it did where everybody wanted to go on grain-free. I think it just started to be, well, I hear that dogs are allergic to grains. Well, some are, some aren't.
It's marketing. It's novel, new, and it'll come to a point where there'll be something else. And in 3 to 5 years, there'll be something else out there that's the new best thing.
The latest food fad is going grain-free, but the trend could have lasting effects on your dog.
The trouble with this thing is they can go for a long time without showing any clinical signs, and then you get a tipping point where the heart doesn't function quite right. And there's all kinds of other things that can happen, but probably the scariest thing is a fatal arrhythmia can occur.
The FDA is investigating the link between grain-free diets in dogs and dilated cardiomyopathy. Bartholomew says he's seeing that here as well.
We were seeing more and more animals that we were worried about having heart disease, and if it was related to the diet, we needed to get information out.
He recommends staying away from grain-free diets until more is known about their effects on the heart. That way, your furry friends can stay happy, healthy, and part of your life for a long time to come.
To live forever. Live it past me. I don't want to see him die. If he can live as long as humanly possible, that's my main goal, is just to get him happy, healthy for past his lifespan that is expected.
Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
If your dog is currently on a grain-free diet, veterinarians say some of the negative effects can be reversed, but their heart may never return to normal. Some residents in North Fargo are upset after finding a letter in their mailboxes last week regarding a new building. Craig Developments is proposing to build a 55 and older LIHTC, which stands for Low Income Housing Tax Credit Property. Luke Lubon took to the app Nextdoor to ask his neighbors what they thought. Many agreed with him, saying they aren't too sure about this project either.
You know, now I have 114 new neighbors staring in my backyard and checking to see if my doors are unlocked, or I leave something out on the lawn, or, walking through my backyard. Who knows what can happen.
A meeting will be held at Madison Elementary School in Fargo on March 12th. You can visit valleynewslive.com for more information. Catastrophic